Amazon is purchasing the Tomb Raider franchise, with plans to create a big interconnected universe, including the upcoming TV series, video games, a movie, and more. Those are ambitious plans for what is today a B-lister, C, D, double D listed franchise. Oh, that was cringe and low, but I couldn't resist. Though, what is fascinating here, beyond the double Ds, fascinating though they might indeed be. Oh god, I apologize, that's awful. Or more correctly, the loss of the double Ds, because yesterday we talked about E3, right, and how E3 is in all due likelihood finally going belly up and shuffling off to the eternal hunting patches in the ever-forgotten yesteryears. Now, E3 died, in large part in my opinion, because it failed to serve the market it was created to serve, and Tomb Raider has seen much in the way of the same decline because it too decided that it was too good for its intended audience. In the case of E3, that was industry professionals, connecting them with other industry professionals, with press, and with two-legged walking wallets. Me, and people like me. And in the case of Tomb Raider, it was horny 13-year-old boys. As I was once. Or perhaps still am, considering the double D joke. But the point is, Lara Croft was always intended to be a hot female character, if the, hot pants and tight top didn't somehow give that away, with a rather obvious target audience. But over the years, like so many other things, she was forced to grow up, quote unquote, leaving us with the 2001 movie version played brilliantly, frankly, by Angelina Jolie, and okay, here's the thing. The Tomb Raider movies get a lot of stick, and the second one was worse than the first one, but the first one was not at all bad in my opinion. It was a fairly stupid action movie, sure, but again, Angelina Jolie owns that role, no doubt about it. It's got plenty of gadgets, it's got cool little action scenes, the CGI is getting old, to put it mildly. Hell, it was getting old even back then, but we were spoiled back then. Oh god, were we spoiled. And so we looked at a movie like Tomb Raider and went, wow, this is merely mediocre, reject. Whereas if this shit had come out today, it would probably be a 9 out of 8, so 9.8 or something, because at least it is relatively, well, Tomb Raider-y. But the thing is, we started with 2001, Lara Croft, and then we got 2018. I'm not gonna say it because I don't think this is Lara Croft. Lara Croft's long-lost washing board twin sister. There you go. And oh god, if anything fully embodies the modern-day wokeist and feminist movement's war on attractive women, it is this comparison, isn't it? 2001 Lara Croft to 2018. It's almost sad. It's almost tragic. In fact, it is tragic. It is a great loss to mankind in more ways than one. I'll stop making boob jokes eventually. I promise. But okay. The point is, Amazon has an interesting little position here, because many of these large companies, it's not that they necessarily actively hate their consumer base. Some of them do, absolutely, and many of them have been infiltrated by people who do, sure, but a company's primary purpose is at the end of the day to make money. Now, it has been the case for quite a few years now that the easiest way to make money is not to actually please the consumer, but to please the investors. And since the investment money bank of ESG score nonsense was seemingly infinite, that was the audience that the companies tried to please, the investors, not you. But these days, whereas the ESG score is beginning to fail and flounder, and the big investment firms are starting to look ever more skeptical towards these companies that continue to fail, despite every promise of wokeism being put forward. Oh, this time we'll have this character. Oh, this time we'll turn this white character black. Oh, this time we'll reduce this ginger's role to nothing, etc. And yet it keeps failing. Eventually, the other shoe will drop. And as we've been seeing right now, It is dropping. The Last of Us 2, for its fault of being, in my opinion, a boring, fairly generalistic zombie survival TV show thing, and as divisive as the Bill and Frank episode is, it shows that you can actually take a game and adapt practically whole scenes from it and put it straight into the TV show, and people will love you for it. They will shower you with adulations for it. Whereas if you do the opposite, a la Halo, and piss all over it, it's not going to work quite out as well, or the Rings of Power, God help us all. So it might be that Amazon is picking up a fairly traditional old-school franchise. It's still got a lot of brand recognition. People still know who Lara Croft is. People still know what Tomb Raider is. And thinking to themselves, okay, we've got a strong female protagonist, in the good sense for one that fights goddamn T-Rexes with a pair of pistols, and also who just so happens to have a rather key core target audience, which appears to be turning away from our wokeist garbage. What if we make this and we present it right here? Would you like? It's tasty. And if they bite, well, they know which way the winds are blowing. If they don't, well, we'll see more wokeist nonsense for a while still. That is the optimistic interpretation, of course, and the other one is that it'll be just as garbage as everything else, and that Amazon is purchasing them specifically to turn Lara Croft into a black woman. Actually, no. It's the current year. A black male to female trans woman. There you go. Maybe the other way around. That'd be even woker, right? Probably disabled in a wheelchair too. A combat wheelchair. Now that will be funny. Lara Croft in a combat wheelchair. The mental image. It scars me ever so slightly. Yeah, well. But the fact that they chose Tomb Raider, bearing in mind as well, they haven't signed 40k yet. There's no indication that any deal has actually gone through. No money has been allocated as far as I'm aware from the people I know who might know about this. There is no real clear indication that Amazon is doing anything more than talking to Games Workshop. This might very well be their first attempt to kind of go like, okay, is there a young male audience out there? And do they still like boobs and violence? My bet would be on yes, and if that turns out to be true, well, then moving forward with the acquisition of the, chain sword-wielding space marine played by Henry Cavill might be a wise next step again. That is the optimistic interpretation anyways. Nevertheless, I would not mind to see a return of a little bit of Tomb Raider, honestly. I kind of miss those old school games, presuming that they are still going to be the old school games, mind you, as this really will be a bit of a litmus test for how far and how quickly that old pendulum is currently swinging. We'll have to wait and see. Till next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.